Hello everybody, and welcome to another video here at Red Mountain Reptiles. Today's video is actually going to be a really special one because we're going to be going through all the snakes that are in brumation right now. So I've got an entire brumation chamber, which me and my father built by hand. We've got a bunch of snakes in there, and I need to actually take them all out today to fill up their water dishes. It's just been about that time. They've already been in there for about 3 weeks, so they're pretty acclimated. But as you know it's pretty cold here in Florida today, and it's about 55 degrees inside of my garage right now, which is where I'm filming this. So we're gonna be taking some of them out, filling up their water dishes. Obviously, we won't be handling them. We'll just kind of be getting some nice shots of them as they are in their cages. But you're gonna be able to see everything that I'm gonna be breeding next year, and you're gonna be seeing a lot more. And stick around to the end of the video because I'm gonna be showing a bunch of snakes that I recently just got into, snakes I never thought I'd get into, but as life has it, I'm into them. So I will be showing this at the end of the video, and without further ado, I hope you all enjoy, and let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so we're gonna start off our video with me kind of explaining this brumation chamber. So what this is a chamber that basically puts these snakes into hibernation mode. And what hibernation does for snakes is what you do is you put the snake in, let's say, a fridge or a wine cooler or something like that. And again, I know this sounds a little strange. It's a bit of a strange process, but what it does is it cools the snakes down to, usually we try to keep it, especially for corn snakes, about 55 degrees. And we try to keep them at that coolness because typically in Florida, the cooler days are going to be in about the 50s, and mostly corn snakes are in Florida. They're also in Georgia and parts of South Carolina, but I'm kind of going off of Florida at the moment. But anyway, so we kind of keep it at about 55 degrees as a total, and specifically this one is only being kept, I think, at 60 at the moment. And we do this because it puts them into a bit of a sleep mode where the snakes will sleep for about 2 months, and when they wake up, they're ready to breed. Their first reaction is, I'm ready to breed, where's my female? You put them in there and boom, they breed. And what it also does for the males is it increases their fertility. The colder temperatures and the constant resting will actually increase their fertility for the females, which is something I didn't know actually until recently. But a bit of an insight again on this cage, there is, or this brumation chamber, is that there is 2 inches of insulation on each side. And then on the top here, there is a AC fan that gets at about, it cools it to about 60 degrees, sometimes a low of like 56, which is a little bit on the higher side for corn snakes, but it won't be too bad for them. It's still very cold. And I haven't fed them in months either, which is something you do before you put snakes in brumation as well. Or that sometimes if it gets too cold, they won't be able to digest their food, and then it can cause all sorts of problems, actually potentially killing the snakes. So it's good that you don't feed them at least a month before you put them in. So a little bit of an insight here. I'll actually open it up for you guys. Kind of a pain in the butt to open. All right, bottom's open. Oh. Huh. Sorry about that little detour. I just got it open. So what this has here, this can fit about 16 boxes in total. And there are, again, 16 snakes in here. All of these, of which are corn snakes. I actually have some gray bands, but they are actually in a wine cooler because they need to be kept a little bit colder for brumation. So, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be taking these snakes out, and I'm going to be just filling up their water dishes, and I'll have the camera on it so you can see what the snakes are. And as I'm cleaning out the water dishes, I'll give you sort of a general breeding plans just for what I'm gonna be doing next year and what to expect. So without further ado, I'll get them all out, and you'll see this in the next clip. Alrighty, so number 1, we have a double het Andrescalas Paletto. And this is a boy, and what that means is that this male here carries the genetics to produce Scalus Paletto Andres. He's right there, he's just chilling in his little dish. Again, I'm not gonna take anything out today. I am just gonna be filming just the snakes, and actually me over here grabbing some water and filling up their water dishes. That was kind of today's main goal, was to just fill up their water dishes and make sure they have clean water. But I thought, hey, why don't I make a video out of this, because I'd like the people to know what I'm breeding. There we go, we got some nice water in there. A nice snake just chilling in his water dish, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is snake number 2. This is a Coral Ghost Tessera Extreme Pink. It's gonna be hard to pick up that pink on camera, unfortunately, and she just loves to dig. I do not want to bother her too much though, because again, they are in brumation technically, and they do need to be left alone. But she's definitely a really pretty snake, and she's gonna produce some awesome babies next year. And you'll actually see a lot more of her when I actually come out with the Breeding Plans 2024 video. Alrighty, next up we have this male Extreme Pink Coral Ghost Tessera. Just like the female, he's a nice chunky boy, and he's doing really well in his brumation, and he is going to be producing some banger babies next year for sure. We'll definitely have some more videos about him as well, and you are definitely going to learn a lot more about these genetics because they are amazing. Alrighty, next up we have a Miami Tessera male who's doing absolutely incredible as well, who's also really fast for someone who's in brumation. We actually do have the temperature a little bit higher, so that might be why he's a little more quick. I'm actually going to be bringing down the temperature pretty soon to about 55 to 50 degrees to kind of get a better feel for brumation. But otherwise, he's doing really well. He's going to produce some awesome babies next year. Alright guys, next up we got this beautiful fire pie-sided male. This male is only about almost 2 years old, but it's going to be hard to see. There'll be more videos about him in the future, but he is a pie-sided, not the biggest, definitely not the biggest example of a pie-sided, but he's definitely a gorgeous snake and will be awesome when we start doing the pie-sided line. I got a female I'll actually show you later in the video. She's a baby, not ready to breed yet, but she'll be going with this male pretty soon, hopefully the year after, and we'll get some awesome pie-sided babies. Alright guys, and next up is this albino palmetto. You've probably seen him in the channel a few times. He's a really big male. He was actually the father to my female palmetto, which you'll see later in the video. Her babies, which I've recently just sold them all finally, and yeah, he'll be a good dad next year as well. Alright guys, so next up we got this gorgeous ERO male, which stands for Extreme Reverse Okti. And dude, let me tell you, these snakes are incredible. They've been around for a long time, but every day I look at these snakes and they just mesmerize me every single time. Gorgeous snake. He'll be breeding with a lava A male female, which I'll be showing you later in the video as well. Alright everybody, so next up we got this. Oh, looks like there's no snake in here. Nah, just kidding, he's in here. He's just burrowing down for the brumation. He's right here. I'll give you guys a few seconds to guess what his morph is. Yes, but anyway, this snake is a coral salmon snow, and he will be breeding with some of my other snow females next year. Some really pink ones. This is a really big male. I've actually had him for a really long time. Well, not really long. I've had him for like 4 or 5 years. But he eats like a champ. I've had him since he was a baby. Friendliest snake you'll ever meet, and he'll be breeding with a bunch of females this year. Alrighty guys, so next up, got this albino scaleless het palmetto female who's going to be breeding with actually the male you saw earlier, who is the Andrescalas double het scaleless palmetto. Hopefully we get some scaleless palmettos out of this clutch. She actually slugged out on me last year, but she was a little small, so I don't really blame her. But hopefully she'll do good this year. We have her in a really nice cold spot in the brumation area. Coldest spot we could get her in, so let's hope she proves out and does really well this year. Let's also hope that she loses some weight, because she's kind of fat. Alright everybody, so this is a very exciting female for me. I'm very glad I was actually able to acquire this female. And here we go, let's open it up. This female here is an Andrescalas that's double het, or possible double het scaleless palmetto. Just like the male, except the male is 100%. So I'm hoping that she proves out on both of those and we get some Andrescalas palmettos this year. or at least one of them. We'll still get one that, you know, that has both genes, but maybe one of them would be a Palmetto that's het for Scalus, or a Scalus that's het for Palmetto. We don't know, but hopefully she proves out for both of them, and we do really good with her this year. Oh, she's out and about. Okay, everybody, so next up is this beautiful coral extreme pink snow Okti that I'm gonna breed that big male with that I was talking about earlier in the video. She is absolutely gorgeous. The camera honestly does not do any justice for her. I mean, she is absolutely incredible. Her colors are insane, and it just sucks that the camera's not gonna pick up the pinks, but for those of you who see me in person, you're gonna see how her babies are gonna have some super pinks for sure. Okay, everybody, this snake right here, again, is one of my favorite snakes I have in my collection. I'm super excited to breed her. This is, I actually honestly could not tell you what this is. All I know is that she is albino striped and has palmetto on her, but there's something else going on here. And before I show you, she was born all pink, and then later in life she turned into that. This is a gorgeous, almost blood, like actual blood red snake. One of the most incredible snakes I have this year, and I'm really hoping that she'll produce some amazing babies. Hopefully some albino palmettos. Maybe we can make a super red albino line or something like that, but we're hoping she'll do some crazy stuff this year. Alrighty guys, this next snake, I love this snake to death. This snake is awesome. This, however, I mean, to some it might just be kind of normal, but to me it's awesome. This is just my regular palmetto corn snake that actually has a really nice yellow stripe that she started to develop when she was pretty young. And she's actually got it really nice at the head, so hopefully that'll pass on to her babies this year. It didn't pass on to any of the babies that we bred her with the past year, but hopefully with the right male, we can get that yellow stripe really showing to be really predominant on a lot of my palmettos. Next up, we have this awesome Silver Queen Sun-Kissed corn snake who will be breeding with probably the ghost male. I didn't specifically pick out a male for her because I didn't really know what to breed her with. But hopefully she'll prove out and have some awesome babies this year. I probably will end up pairing her with that ghost male. But as of now, I'm not exactly 100% sure what I'm gonna pair her with, but hey, she's a gorgeous snake, and no matter what I pair her with, she's gonna produce some awesome babies. Alright guys, next up we have this Lava AML Extreme Reverse Okti. They'll be breeding with that male Extreme Reverse Okti I showed you earlier in the video. She's a big girl, actually, who did not breed last year, but this year I'm hoping that she'll produce some awesome snakes. Really pretty colors, lots of really nice oranges, almost like a cantaloupe. Actually, almost like a, really just like an orange, the fruit. But yeah, she's absolutely awesome. Her colors are awesome, and I cannot wait to breed her. And last but not least, we have this incredible, just normal Okti. She was my very first snake I ever got. She's about 5 years old. It's gonna be a little hard to see her, and again, you really don't want to be bothering the snakes. She's just kind of hiding in here. But yeah, she's really sweet, really nice snake, and I cannot wait to breed her this year because she is gonna have some banger babies. Just like every other year I've bred her, she's had some awesome silvery red babies. Alrighty, next up here we have a gray banded king snake, and this king snake, it was originally in brumation. I only just pulled them out just for this video, and they're only going to be out just for a little bit. They are in a 45 to 50 degree brumation, which some may argue can be a little cold, but for the gray bands, especially how fat these ones are, it's not too bad actually. It's a pretty decent temperature for them. It'll hopefully give me the breeding success that I'm looking for this year. So without further ado, here is the female. She's a 2019 female. Yep, here she is. Her oranges aren't showing up as saturated as they are in person, but you can still generally get an idea of what she looks like. And she is a absolutely stunning female for sure. She's the Blair's line, which there's a bunch of different lines for the gray-banded king snake, but this specific line is the Blair's line. And she hopefully will be a really good breeder. I have been told that she is a little overweight and she is a little fat, and you definitely do not want them any fatter than this because it can actually alter their breeding. So I'm hoping that with this brumation and not feeding her for the month before the brumation, she will actually be able to support eggs, and she'll lose some weight where that she would healthily be able to support some eggs. Alrighty, and next up we have the male. This is the same thing, gray banded king snake, the Blair's line, except this is the male. Now, looking at this male, I noticed that he is a little overweight, but he's not near as overweight as the female, which is a good thing for the male, especially because he needs to be the one to impregnate the female. So he definitely is not super overweight, and again, with like 3 or 4 months of no feeding, that's definitely going to help them lose some weight, and that's definitely going to help them with breeding. So wish us luck on this project. I'm hoping this project will go really well, because you don't see a lot of gray bands around, but when you do see them, they're really beautiful snakes, and typically they are this line, the Blair's line. I don't see many other lines. There are some lines that focus more on the gray, so the snake's basically all gray with a little bit of orange, and then there's other lines that focus on the orange, where it's mostly orange and just less gray. And this with the Blair's line, it kind of sticks with both of the contrast with the gray and the orange contrast. It tries to make it sort of a 50-50 deal and not focusing on one or the other. The male, however, has more, I'd say, orange than gray compared to the female, who actually had more really gray than orange. So it's really cool how snakes like this can really differ in how their colors change, and how these different snakes are all could be from the same parents, but just have different patterns and different colors. Okay, so next up in this video are going to be the snakes that I'm holding back, or snakes that I produce myself, or just all that in that general area. There's not much stuff left. I have a few raise up snakes, not a lot. I'm actually getting into a different kind of snake, a very specific snake, which you'll see at the end of the video. Something I didn't think I'd get into, but again, as life has it, I've just recently gotten into them, and my collection is going to really start growing with this specific snake, or specific genre of snakes, but I'm not going to go too much into it. So we're going to start off with this one I produced myself, which is a Miami Okti crossbreed. This was the mom of this baby was the Okti you saw in the brumation chamber part of the video, and the what was it? Oh yeah, the stripe, the Miami stripe that you also saw in the brumation part of the video. So without further ado, let's get this lid off. They all just fed today, so I'm not going to stress her out too much. But yeah, there she is. She's a gorgeous snake. She's going right for my fingers, but she's a gorgeous snake. And when I'm going with this project, my main goal is to get a silver to red contrast. So this will be generation 1, where I'm going to start line breeding to get the best of the silver and the best of the red, to crossbreed to get really nice contrasted reds on really nice contrasted and clean silvers. So this project might take a few years. This project might take forever, honestly. But just like the Abbott's Okti, I'm going to take my time, I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to get this project going fast. This is the best female that was from the original clutch I did this year, and I decided to hold her back. So we're going to raise her up, breed her, and hopefully start generation 2. Okay, so this next snake is a snake that I did not produce. I bought this snake. This is a Blood Extreme Pie-sided that's het for fire, and this snake is gorgeous. Now, this snake is going to be in my videos in the future a lot, because I really want to start showcasing her off and how she's growing. But again, unfortunately, I wasn't planning on really filming today, so I fed them, and then as luck would have it, filming became a really good idea. So let me see here. She did just eat, so I don't know if she's still in an eating mode, but this is what she looks like. And I don't know if you can see it, which she probably won't really show it, but on her sides there, you might be able to see it a little bit. She has a lot of really, really nice whites, and those whites are going to keep getting more and more predominant as she grows. And again, I know it's kind of a crappy look right now, and I swear in my next video, I'm going to have her out in my hands, and you're going to be seeing her, and you're going to be looking at all the gorgeous whites on her side. But honestly, right now, I won't really be able to really showcase it as best as I can. But again, I will have her more on the channel, and you will see how awesome she is. Okay, so this is it. This is the part of the video everyone's been waiting for. This is the part you're going to see the new type of snake that I'm getting into, or the new genre of snakes I'm getting into, and I really hope you guys support me on this one because this is going to be a really big part of my collection now. So without further ado, it's upside down is what it is. Mandarin rat snakes. So in general, Asian rat snakes. These are the kind of rats like bamboos, mandarins, probably not any blue beauties. I'm going to try to get some Melendorfi, more commonly known as 100-flower rat snakes. But right now, I've just got this female mandarin, which is doing phenomenal. But, okay, so unfortunately, she's very quick. And with me holding this camera, it's going to be a little hard to take her out. So just give me 1 sec. I'm going to have a perfect view of her. I just need a sec. But she is an absolute beauty of a snake. And she has a lot of nice silvers and a lot of beautiful yellows as well. And she has some incredible colors. You can see that yellow just really starting to come through down her back. So she's hopefully going to make a really great breeder in the future. She's still really young. She's this year's baby, so she's got some time before we can actually really think about breeding her. But yeah, let's hope she does good. What an incredible animal. Okay, so next up we have this bamboo Coxy male. Again, they just aged, so I'm not going to be taking them out or anything. The male is a little feisty, so I guess we'll see how this one goes. But there he is. He's gorgeous, and you can see that his stripes are much more thick than the females, which is more common with a Coxy in the bamboo rat snake world, to have more of a thicker black band. Unlike the female, again, who has a thinner black band, which is a little more uncommon to see. Hoping when we breed these, we'll actually get a bit of a combination of the pair, because I think they're both absolute stunners, so I'm really happy that we got a pair that has a bit of a difference between the two. Alright guys, I completely forgot about these snakes. I totally forgot to put them in there, so this is actually technically the last part of the video. What we have here, this female, is a Andrescalas, 66% het palmetto. So it's possible het palmetto. And so she actually was one of the females that didn't go into brumation because she's just a little too small. Well, kind of a lot too small. She definitely has some more growing to do. She's not quite there yet. Hopefully by late next year we'll be able to actually get her ready for brumation, because again, they need to go off food for at least a month. So hopefully that'll all sort of time out and we'll be able to get them ready for brumation next year, and hopefully she'll be up to size, which is the most important thing. But again, she's just an Anri, which just by looking at her, you wouldn't really be able to tell that she's just an Anri. She's got a lot of really nice silvers at the top and pinkish grays, which is something that mainly you would see in a Scales Ghost. But again, this is just an Anri. I know the person who produced this, and the dad was an Anri. So, just a really pretty Anri. Okay, guys, so last up we have this Delute Blue Ghost Vanishing Stripe female. And yes, I know that is a mouthful and that is a lot to put together, but that is exactly what the snake is. So what the Delute Blue does is it just adds more of a bluish tinge to the snake. And Ghost is obviously Anri in hypo, and a vanishing stripe is basically the animal is born as a baby with the stripe, and then the stripe will vanish as it gets older and as it sheds. So this female is older, not quite ready for breeding either, but she's older, and yes, as you can see, she's basically an all silver snake with no pattern on her back, except for the front. If you look at the front, you can actually see some of the stripe that's still left over, but again, that with every shed, that will eventually disappear into just complete gray, like you can actually see in her body here. And if you look closely, you might, now I don't know if you'll be able to see this, let me adjust the camera a little bit, you might be able to see some of the black speckling that she has sort of down her back. That's something really cool that happens with the Anris a lot. And I'm really glad. At first I actually was gonna sell this female when she was younger, but I decided to bring her home from a show instead of selling her, and I'm glad I did, because she ended up losing all of her pattern and just ended up being this absolutely incredible snake. So hopefully next year she'll be ready to breed and we'll be able to put her in brumation. Okay, everybody, this is going to end off today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something new. I'm going to be posting hopefully more often than I usually do in 2024, kind of, I guess, one of my resolutions. And I hope you guys have an amazing year. I hope 2023 is amazing for everyone else. Happy New Year to everyone that sees this. And if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'd be glad to answer them. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, do what you got to do, and have a blessed day.